What is Anur Kumar Dissanayake really gaining by his recent overseas visits? He's meeting a lot of Sri Lankan diaspora, but we see some of the local politicians from the opposition saying, look, the vote is not there, the vote is here. What is he going and gaining from them?
Well, I think that reaction is partly sour grapes and partly a lack of vision. Why we are reaching out to the diaspora is because we think there's a lot of potential there to be mobilized for the recovery of our country in terms of expertise, in terms of investment. There's a lot to be mobilized in the diaspora. I mean, many people who've left the countries, perhaps you yourself included, left not because they don't like this country or don't want to live here, but conditions and circumstances drove them out. But they still have a deep connection here. They still would like to see the country prosper, and they would like to contribute to the country's development. And we think we can mobilize that. And we think not only do we think that we can mobilize that, we think we should mobilize this, because our country is in deep crisis in every sense, right? We also need capacity, we need resources at every level if we are to pull ourselves out of this. And if there are people who are willing. Our recent launch of our research and development policy drew on lots of experts, because there are many Sri Lankans holding top positions in universities and research centers all over the world who are willing to work with us. So why shouldn't we mobilize them? So many of our meetings have been about reaching out to the diaspora and identifying and tapping into that resource.
You know, what we saw when Gotabaya Rajapaksa contested, a lot of Sri Lankans from overseas came and voted for him. Are you expecting something like that to happen here as well?
Well, that's not going to be the deciding factor in the election. We certainly think some of them will, because they continue to be citizens here, and maybe some of them will return to vote. But I think many of them also have influence over their families and communities here, and that's a factor that we think will work in our favor. But that's not going to be the deciding factor in the election. The election will depend on the people who are here.
Everywhere you see at least the two main political parties, or maybe even the three political parties, the UNP, SLPP and SJB, sort of having Anur Kumar's, Dissanayake, the NPP leader's face on a wall and like always targeting him.
I think
why is he the target?
I think it's fairly obvious.
Yes, that his popularity.
Yeah, his popularity, his effectiveness, and we are the challenge, we are the threat, we are the party to be beaten. Anur is the leader to be beaten.
Right.
So,
but has that hype? I mean, I know that was there post Aragalaya, but some also feel that that trend is now sort of shifting away.
No, not at all.
Agree?
I think that it's not a trend. It's a consequence. It's a result of a lot of hard work that the NPP put in, that Anur himself led into mobilizing different segments of society to come on board with the vision we have for the country.
There's a lot of inconsistencies within the party, with different people saying different things. I think Sunil Handunetti's comment on Elon Musk was something that grew a lot of popularity there on social media. Is there, everyone giving their own opinions, and that is leading to...
No, not again, those inconsistencies and the supposed sort of clash of opinions is something that is largely constructed by our opponents.
Okay.
Take, for example, Handunetti's remark on Elon Musk. It was part of a larger speech where he talked about many things, and he later apologized for making an inappropriate remark, and he had acknowledged that he shouldn't have done that.
How is the NPP's? I know the last time we spoke about how Anur Kumar Dissanayake and the NPP as a party was building a strong rapport with the international community. We've seen that continuing. How has that progressed since then?
It's progressing well. We continue to speak to members of the diplomatic community. We are in regular contact. We exchange ideas. We iron out any differences of opinions we have. It's also an opportunity for us to correct some of the misconceptions that are deliberately fostered about us within the international community. So that's an ongoing relationship, ongoing discussions. We meet regularly, we exchange ideas, and I think they're beginning to, they're showing a huge interest in getting to know us and wanting to hear more about what we plan to do.
How do you see the country as a whole? I mean, you said people are having hope on transformation, but the way things are going right now, can one expect real hope, real change going forward?
Absolutely. I have a lot of hope for this country. I really think it is possible to change things around, because we don't have problems that cannot be solved. We don't have the kinds of sort of difficulties that countries face, which are complicated, and which, you know, we don't have the kind of the natural disaster issues, or issues of political conflict and disaster.
So these are like simple issues which can be resolved.
Which can be resolved through proper leadership and just sort of a real kind of focus on fixing the problems of people.
Because the people outside, not in Sri Lanka, but the diaspora, most of them would say, you know, we've lost hope in Sri Lanka. We've lost hope because we've seen successive governments coming and doing more or less the opposite to what they really promise.
I can understand where that cynicism comes from, but I would urge you, and I would urge anyone, not to give up on this country. There is a real opportunity for change. There's a real opportunity here for transforming this country. And I think we should do everything in our power. Certainly we are doing everything in our power to grasp that opportunity. I'm not going to say it's the last opportunity, because I don't believe that there's anything, you know, there's that kind of finality to anything. There's always hope. But this is a real and actual opportunity that we should be absolutely making use of.